It is July 28th here in Zone 5. We have been having an inch or two of rain every night and -90-degree temperatures every day. So the plants are all beaten down. It's the 7-year cicada. So we've got cicadas everywhere. This one seems to be dead. Maybe it's just the cool weather, he's not dead. It's only in the... Right now it is 73, but the high today is going to be 89. And it's been like this every day. Look at how the yards are flooded. The limb's been blowing down. Yesterday I had been cutting down this honeysuckle bush and I hadn't gotten it all cut down yet last winter, so I was going to finish it up this winter, but the big limb blew off of it yesterday, so I cut that up and made a video about it. I cut that up because I needed to get a lot more light over here because it was so dark over here that nothing would grow, well, shady, that nothing would grow. And this here is just amazing how fast this thing is growing. And I don't actually want it here, so I need to dig it up and move it. But it was just a seedling, and it had been just a few inches tall for several years. Even my yard's getting flooded here. This path here turned into a river. Anyway, this is a Virginia red cedar. Look at all this new growth, I can't believe it. And I planted some of these out back for the birds because they have berries that the birds like. And evidently the birds were out back eating them, and they were sitting here on the honeysuckle bush that used to cover this entire area, and dropped one of the seeds there evidently, and it's been growing. It was just a few inches tall for several years, and then the minute I cut down this honeysuckle bush, which I haven't finished yet, it might be nice to leave part of it to put clematis and morning glories on. I don't know. Anyway, and so now it's just been zooming up. The hostas are getting ready to bloom. They're pretty and smell so good when they get to blooming. Everything is just getting beaten down. And it's been so hot, I haven't really been out here working as much as I should, or spraying my plants as much as I should. I don't know why these Japanese beetles like the ferns so much. I think it's so cool right now. They're not very active. This crabapple tree that I planted here a few years ago has just been growing great, especially since I cut down the big huge honeysuckle, and I planted it just because of the I planted it just because of these crab apples. I've heard that if you have constant food for robins like crab apples, they will stay year-round. Wow, look at all those. Hopefully the robins will eat those. Yeah, even a lot of limbs are falling over here. Look at all that. Must have had a lot of wind last night too. It's been like this every night. Get up to 90 in the daytime, and it was over 90 yesterday, I'm pretty sure. And then rain an inch or two at night every day. I guess we're lucky because some people have got it a lot worse. At least our house is safe. And I need to come around and deadhead my lilies. I think that next year, or maybe this fall, I'm going to move these over to the other side over here because the other side gets a lot more sun. These are red Stella daylilies. There are dwarf daylily. That's the big tall one. And it would also help if I took off some of the lower limbs off of this maple tree here. This maple tree, I bought it, it was supposed to be a red maple, and it was only about 2 feet tall when I bought it. And I planted it early in the spring when it was shipped, and squirrels or rabbits or somebody come and nibbled it off at the bottom, and that's why it's forked like that. But now it's just getting too big. It shades the whole yard. Pretty nice. So I guess the shade is nice, but I'd rather have a flower garden. I think the limbs are hanging so low today because of all the rain we've been getting. A lot of times branches hang down when they get after a rain. Because look at all those over there, they're almost touching the ground. Isn't that something? How branches hang down so much after the rain? Because I was thinking that you could walk right under here without touching all these branches. Look at all the water. Yeah, so today I have to come out and deadhead and pick up branches, and when it's hot like this, I haven't been able to get out and pull weeds as much as I should have either. So I think I make up for a lot of that. Here's some more deadheading I got to do. Make up for that after it cools down some. But look at these hibiscus. They haven't bloomed yet this year. Here's my phlox. They're about done blooming. This is a peony. I thought I cut off all the blooms. I got a lot of this is a viburnum right here. I planted it so it could provide berries for the birds. It just takes up a lot of space in the flower bed, so I might dig it up. And here's a good place I could just dig up and plant things that are out back. Because I've got a nice flower bed out back that I'm going to show you here in a few minutes. And see, here's some weeds I should have pulled up, but I just haven't been out here working very much because it's so hot. It's amazing how fast these things grow. Look at all this. This is a sunflower that the birds planted from over there. It's all been beaten down and hanging over. You can see how the birds are in here picking out the seeds. And these are blooms that were off of this daylily. I need to cut them down lower to the ground because it looks kind of bad having all this stuff here in the flower bed. Stick that fell out in there. Yeah, so I've got a lot of maintenance work I could be doing. I should just cut off these leaves, these stems, and they'll grow back. This is a loose strife. Here's some tiger lilies that need to be. So it looks like I've got a lot of work to do in here. Here's one good thing right here. This hibiscus here has huge blooms. Look at this. Huge. Anyway, I dug it up, and it's so big I couldn't dig it up all at once because it's been here. But I dug it up because it's too big for this area now. It's grown up. And I divided it in half, put half of it over here. I divided it in half and put half of it over here. Look how it's grown. It's probably grown. This is the old wood. It doesn't grow but 1 year, and then so I just cut it down to the ground. I probably could cut that lower even, but look how much has grown here since I just transplanted it here up from the ground. It just grew up out of the ground from the roots. So I'll dig up this other half either this fall or in the spring. Here, this is kind of cool too. These are, I just put some cocoa coir and perlite mixture that I use for potting in here. And then just threw a package of moss roses on top. Look at how they've grown. I'm hoping that they drop seeds over the sides, and I like to have this whole flower bed filled in with moss roses. Wouldn't that be cool? Here's one that looks like it seeded itself from last year. This is a hardy geranium that I planted from bare root last year. I don't know what's going on with the birds over there. And this is loose strife. I actually just pulled it up by the roots, and it's all coming back. And here's some more hardy geraniums that I planted from bare root last year. And I think I'm going to get rid of some of this tall stuff out here, like these these hardy lilies, the Asiatic lilies, and put them over there in some of those bare spaces. I'd like to get more stuff in this flower bed here that blooms year-round, rather than, because I mean, like after July, there's not much blooming. So, like, see over here, I've got some of this echinacea, or cone flowers. There's two clumps of them. I should put one of them over here. But, here, I'm going to show you out back all the flowers I started from seed. Here's our garden. There's beans over there on a pole with the birdhouse. I haven't got any beans yet. We've been getting lots of tomatoes and cucumbers and everything. This is forget-me-not. I've been doing that a lot. And this is columbine. And this is a cantaloupe or a cucumber. It's growing clear over. I could put like one cantaloupe here and it would cover this whole area. We instead of picking all the vegetables as they come ripe, we just come out and get stuff for each meal. And for us old folks, that's the easiest way to do it. Just go out and get a cucumber and tomato and some kale and some nice vegetables for meals. Here's something I don't want right there. I'll have to be digging that up next time. Here is some black-eyed Susans that have been real pretty. And I think I'm going to dig those up and put them out front. There's a lot of flowers in here. Early in the spring, there was a whole bunch, so maybe I'm supposed to be better to wait for spring, but we've got Chicago or California poppies in here, and a lot of plants I didn't even know what they were, because I started out with a package of mixed wildflowers. I planted them last year, and so I think that I don't even know what this is, so I've been leaving it. But I think it's going to be proved to be a weed. It's just so tall, and so I'm probably going to pull it up or dig it up. Over in here we've got asparagus, and here's some more flower pots I put in, seeds I put in flower pots. And out here the poppies, they was growing. There was a bunch of seeds, but the wind or whatever blew seeds on top, leaves on top of them. These are hollyhocks. I'll have some more hollyhocks down front. And the morning glories, it's hard to keep those under control because it's been so hot. I haven't been out here pulling weeds like I should every day. This is asparagus. You get a little bit of asparagus in the spring, and here's some dill. Here's some beets. I can probably come out. Oh, there's one that's ready to. Let's come out and get that to eat today. There's a couple of them there. These are zinnias. I love zinnias. And zinnias are easy to gather seed from. And then there's tomatoes and cucumbers and all kinds of stuff over there. I don't see any beans on there. Maybe it's still too early for beans. And this is chives, a whole bunch of chives in there. A bunch of strawberries in here. We had a bunch of strawberries this spring too. So I hope that you liked my garden today, and this is my garden tour for July 28th, and thanks a lot for watching, and if you can, subscribe to my channel and like this video. And I will talk to you next time. Thanks a lot. Bye.